Good evening, everybody. Welcome to North Hagerstown High School. Antietam Broadband bringing you live coverage of high school volleyball. The North Hagerstown Hubs hosting the Boonsboro Warriors here tonight. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Mark Keller along with Letty Wilkes. Two of the top teams here in Washington County this season. Let's start out talking about North Hagerstown, Letty, and a team you saw play last night. Their first loss of the season, sitting with a 9-1 record now, but the Hubs losing last night to James Wood out of Winchester, losing in 5 sets. What did you see in that match, and what do you expect to see here tonight from the Hubs?
Well, you know, Mark, the last time we were here is North's first game of the season, and so I think there was some first season jitters. But from watching them from the first game to last night, they faced a really tough team last night. James Wood was a very ball control team, very poised on the court. They knew where their shots were, and they were ready to go. And North came in. They were on all cylinders as well. They blocked really, really great last night. So I think that it was a tough match to come off, but I think it was a great growing experience for North, and they're definitely learning things from yesterday coming in tonight's match against Boonsboro, who I think we figured out is kind of right there with them in their record and who they've played. But so it'll be exciting to see both these teams play tonight, and North has definitely grown from when we saw them in September.
Well, we remind you tonight's live coverage here of high school volleyball brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia, the dealers that make it easy. Hagerstown Honda and Kia wish much success to the student athletes participating in tonight's match, the schools they represent, and the surrounding communities that support them. Now on to Boonsboro. You know, we talk a lot about the strength of volleyball here in Washington County, and Boonsboro is not a team that we mention very often. You know, we always talk about North Hagerstown, Smithsburg, Williamsport, those traditional powers, but Boonsboro this season having a fantastic year. They're 8-1 right now. They've won 7 straight matches, lost their second match of the season, and they've only dropped 1 set since then, and that came in a 3-1 win over Clear Springs. So what can we expect to see out of Boonsboro here tonight in maybe somewhat of a surprising season for them?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have not had the opportunity to watch Boonsboro play much. We haven't covered them, so it'll be interesting. But as you look at their roster, they have some players that have grown in the game, and they're seniors, and they are juniors. So they're weathered in the fact that they played together for a while, they know each other, and they've had the time to develop as players. So I think with experience is why maybe they're playing, and their record is what it's showing. So it'll be interesting to see them actually play. But if I could bet, it's probably their seniority on the court, and they are knowing how they're playing together, and they've got that mastered. So it's nice to actually see a different team. Sometimes we get to cover the same teams. It's nice to see somebody else play.
Shelby Wallace, the head coach of Boonsboro, and of course, Megan Crawford, the head coach here of North Hagerstown. We mentioned the records that both of these teams have coming in here. North Hagerstown already a lock. They're already locked into the Central Maryland Conference Championship match on Saturday. Boonsboro, a possibility here. We'll kind of go through the scenarios with them. Their match, this match won't mean anything for reaching that championship match, but they have a big match Thursday night against Smithsburg that'll really be a big one here for Boonsboro.
Yeah, putting those games together tonight means something, and it means to the end to get to that championship. But I think most important for these kids right now is playing this good volleyball at this time of the season, so they're going into playoffs ready to go for working towards the end goal, which should be a state championship. So
that CMC championship match taking place on Saturday down at Thomas Johnson High School in Frederick. And then both teams have a couple of matches next week to sort of close out the regular season, non-conference matches. North will have 2 matches next week, Boonsboro with 3, and then seeding for the state tournament takes place on October 31st, and region tournaments begin November 3rd and 4th, and then on to the state tournament beginning November 11th and 12th. And it's always, again, we talked about that strength of Washington County. You can almost always expect to have at least one team from Washington County at least reach the state tournament. And seeing what we've seen from North Hagerstown they seem to have a pretty good shot of getting through the region and qualifying for the state tournament.
Absolutely. I think North definitely has a great opportunity this year to get that state championship. It's just going to be, volleyball's a crazy game. It's a game of momentum. It can shift so fast, but they definitely have the talent, and they definitely have the tools of what you start seeing when you get down to final games in the playoffs and you get down to the state championship. They have all the tools, and I think they'll put it together. You know, they're well coached, and I think at this point in time, last year they slipped up a little bit, and I'm sure these girls remember that. You always remember something like that. So I'm sure they're a little hungry to get that state championship this year. So look forward to see and hope that they do get that.
And for Boonsboro, of course, being a 1A in Class 1A West, they'll have to deal with Smithsburg. They'll have to deal with Clear Spring, and possibly some of the schools from the Cumberland area as well, just to get through the region and have a shot at reaching the state tournament. That 1A is always a tough draw.
Yeah, the 1A is always tough because this county is really strong in volleyball. And the thing about it is that what not better to whoever makes it down there to say, hey, the best teams are in our county. That's always kind of rewarding. I know when I played in this county, I played at Williamsport and we lost, but we knew Smithsburg beat us that year and we knew they were going to win the state championship. So that's kind of neat, and the kids can be rewarded to know, like, hey, I play in a strong county of volleyball for the state of Maryland. So that's kind of exciting, but it will be a tough competition. I haven't seen Boonsboro play yet, but Clear Spring, we know what they can do. They're scrappy and they're not going to give up. So, and they've, 2 years ago they won a state championship, so they know what that feels like. They know what needs to happen to get that done. So it'll be exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing Boonsboro play this evening.
Should be a good one here tonight. North Hagerstown taking on Boonsboro. We're going to take a break now. We'll be back with action right after this.
All right, guys, we have got to find more ways to buy more used cars for our lots here at Hagerstown Honda and Kia.
Oh, I have an idea. Here's how I would do it. Hello there. Hey, I'm Scott with Hagerstown Honda and Kia, and I want to buy your car.
Yeah, that one's probably not going to work.
Better yet, just bring your vehicle to Hagerstown Kia and Honda. We'll do a quick inspection, crunch some numbers with you, and then we'll trade your title for a check. Hagerstown Honda and Kia. Turn your car into cash. Seems like everyone you meet today claims to be a content creator. Well, at Antietam Media Services, we're much more than just content creators. We're producers, directors, and editors that are never afraid to roll up our sleeves and bring our expertise to you. From full-blown live multicam productions live streamed to the world, to single-camera commercial production, we've got the gear, we've got the people, and we've got the drive to give your event or business the exposure it deserves. We've been doing this since 1981, and Antietam Media Services has produced tens of thousands of hours of live content and thousands of commercials that put your name on the networks and on the digital platforms that provide you the biggest return on investment. It's a big world out there, and we're ready to help you tell your story. Call, email, or log on to AntietamMediaServices.com and tell us more about your project. 4 decades of experience and never afraid of a challenge. We're Antietam Media Services.
Come see Red Baron Flooring on Basil Boulevard in Hagerstown for the best selection and the most competitive prices. Shop our beautiful showroom or select your new flooring from our large warehouse where our in-stock values save you time and money. You can rely on our knowledgeable sales staff to make shopping at Red Baron the same satisfying experience for you that it's been for tri-state consumers for more than 40 years. So let our flooring experts help you to the best selection at everyday low prices. Visit us at Red Baron Flooring on Basil Boulevard next to Labor's Office Furniture in Hagerstown.
Now's the best time to purchase your new vehicle from Hagerstown Kia. Hagerstown Kia is having vehicles delivered weekly, and they don't last long, so check out HagerstownKia.com daily. Trade-in values have never been better for the new Kia buyer, with values being up nearly 40% nationally. And if you can't find what you're looking for, let Hagerstown Kia's helpful sales consultants custom order the exact Kia you've always dreamed of owning. Reserve your new Kia from the dealer that's making it easy, Hagerstown Kia.
For over 30 years, Antietam Broadband has been bringing you one-of-a-kind local programming, from coverage of our high school sports to unique programming like our Civil War and Washington County series. Now you can own them on Blu-ray and DVD. Just visit store.antietamcable.com, where you'll find all your favorite local programming from Antietam Broadband. Browse through our categories to find the perfect gift. Antietam Broadband and Antietam Media Services, bringing quality local programming to your home. Now you can get local Antietam Broadband programming right on your phone or tablet. Our new WCL TV On The Go app brings our programming straight to you. You'll have access to our most recent programs like our coverage of local high school sports, The Music Makers, Inside Sports, and more. Plus, you'll have access to our live events right from the app. What are you waiting for? Download the WCL TV On The Go app now on iTunes and Google Play. It's all here on the WCL TV On The Go app from Antietam Media Services and Antietam Broadband.
I'm Linda McCollum, and welcome to the new McCollum Hearing Center. We are the Mid-Atlantic's #1 provider of quality hearing aids. Here at McCollum Hearing Center, we take our service seriously, and we stand by you and our products. I'd like to introduce clinical audiologist Betty Moss.
Hi, I'm happy to join McCollum Hearing Center, and I would like to welcome my friends, old and new, to come by.
Call or visit McCollum Hearing Center today.
With over 50,000 square feet of merchandise, chances are Labors has what you need. And right now, the best way to shop is to browse laborsfurniture.com. Just pick out what you need and we can deliver your furniture to your home or office. Of course, Labors carries office furniture and home furnishings, but did you know they also carry cleaning supplies and paper products? Labors has a lot more than you might think, and right now, they will deliver right to your door. Family owned and operated, that's Labors Furniture. Open to serve our community when you need us the most.
Welcome back to North Hagerstown High School. Getting ready for the first set of this matchup between the visiting Boonsboro Warriors and the homestanding North Hagerstown Hubs. Mark Keller and Letty Wilkes with you here. Live coverage on Antietam Broadband, brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia. The Hubs starting out on the right side of your screen. The Warriors on the left. North with a 9-1 record coming into this match. As mentioned in the pregame, that one loss coming just last night against James Wood down in Winchester. Boonsboro at 8-1. And the Warriors have won 7 in a row. And we are underway. Bailey Doolin serving for North Hagerstown. And Gabby Grantham Medley has the Hubs on the board first.
Already starting out, rallying back and forth. You can tell Boonsboro is really going to work on their defensive side of the game.
It's Grantham Medley once again, 2-0 North Hagerstown.
So already, if you can tell up there, the block's not so big on the Boonsboro side, and that's one of the assets that North has. They're very large. The girls are tall, and they're big, and they put up a great block. Boonsboro doesn't put up as big of a block, so that's going to allow these North hitters to kind of have a little bit of a field day on the court. So when saying that, Boonsboro is going to have to defend, digging more so than they're going to defend at the net.
Miss hit that time by Grantham Medley, and serve over to Boonsboro. It's Armani Kenny with the kill that time for the Hubs. 3-1 North.
North wants to utilize their middles as much as they possibly can in transition play. They just used it in serve receive there, and Boonsboro didn't have necessarily a block. So if they're going to have a tough time this evening if they don't put up a block unless they're going to fend. So we'll see how things develop here. North's blocking pattern too is like we talked about before, is going to help them down the road during playoffs. A lot of times you don't see teams in high school have a block that they have and the height stature that they have right now. Good to see Boonsboro using their middle and transition play, and when I refer to that as not when the ball is being served, but it's being rallied back and forth from playing back and forth. You want to use your middle and transition because the block isn't set. In serve receive, the block is waiting, so it's much easier to block a middle hitter coming out of serve receive than it is in transition play. It's too quick. So both teams want to be able to use their middles as much as they can in transition, which is very hard to do because you can't. It's hard to get the pass to the setter. So.
That ball out by Boonsboro. Now 5-2 North Hagerstown. Aubrey Chamberlain on serve for the Hubs.
And there's that block there from North High. As a hitter, as an opponent against North, you definitely have to approach them hitting around the block or find the shots because it's kind of a wall up there. And that time they got around. So she got around the block and then scored defensively where the defense wasn't. Boonsboro is going to have to do that pretty much all night to keep scoring off the attack.
5 players on that North roster listed at 5'10" or taller, between 5'10" and 6 foot.
All rotations there, pretty big line.
7-3 now, North Hagerstown, and Grantham Medley on serve.
It's the right idea there from Boonsboro. As a middle, you want to hit your corners. You don't want to hit right down the middle because one, there's a block and there's already a defender. So she made a good decision there. Just went a little long on her. Good serve, getting Boonsboro out of system by Grantham Medley. Nice set there.
And there's Bailey Doolin.
It's a great shot down the line.
9-3 Hubs here in the first set. And now Boonsboro takes over, serving 4-9. It's Roslyn Briggs on serve.
Wow. That's what you call a lucky serve right there. Already, unfortunately, in this game, both Boonsboro and North have missed quite a few serves. That's something we want to try to eliminate, missed serves. If you miss a serve, you want to miss out of bounds. You don't want to miss in the net. At least give the other team an opportunity to have to decide whether they're going to play the ball or not. That was a good attack there by Bailey Doolin. She didn't completely go into her attack, but she pulled a roll shot and got Boonsboro back on their heels. It's smart hitting. This is a good attack by Cammie Rao there from Boonsboro. She hit on the outside right hand of the block. The block wasn't completely over to the antenna, so it gave her some space. She recognized that and hit off that blocker's hand. So we call that a tool. So she used the blocker and she scored a point off of it. It's a good
serve is in.
Serve ace there. I think they thought it was going out of bounds. I don't know if they talked to each other or not, but I think they misread that a little bit here on the north side. Those points are always unfortunate. Somebody's saying in, somebody's saying out, and you don't know what to do.
And there's another serve into the net. From Hannah Culver. So North back on serve here at 11-7.
Nice attack, nice dig.
Nice dig by Sophia Williams.
Nice block there by Boonsboro and good coverage there by North. Boonsboro is definitely getting North out of system. They're not able to get all their attackers into options. And that's a great decision there. As ever referenced before, you want to use your middle in transition. So rally play back and forth. Then the block moves all over the place, and the middle blocker is still moving, and the middle set is too quick to stop. So North, I'd like to see them utilize that middle more and more and more, because they've got some great middle hitters if they can use them and take the pressure off those outside hitters. Otherwise, they just send the ball to the outside and keep sending it there, and then they get abused a little bit. Nice block there by North, going in, again into the wall. Boonsboro is going to have to be very smart in seeing the block and the players behind their hitters talking to them, letting them know where to hit and what's open on the court so they can get around that wall.
Another nice block there by Armani Kenny. And all of a sudden, North has opened this up to a 14-7 lead here in the first set. Sophia Williams.
A good serve there. She served that deep in the court. That's something you kind of want to do because it's hard to pass a ball that's deep going over your head. You have to move your feet back. It's hard to receive. I'd like to see a lot more serving deeper. Using that middle. Great attack.
And it's Kenny once again, putting that one away. Now 16-7. And we'll have a timeout taken here. And as we do that, we remind you tonight's live coverage brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia, the dealers that make it easy. Hagerstown Honda and Kia wish much success to the student athletes participating in tonight's match, the schools that they represent, and the surrounding communities that support them. So 6 straight points here for the Hubs, with Sophia Williams serving. And North has opened things up a good bit here in set number 1.
They definitely have put themselves in a good situation with this lead. Boonsboro needs to work on how they're going to hit around that block. I think that's what's affecting them the most right now, is they probably haven't seen that all season because North does have the biggest block, and they're just going to have to work through that, talk, communicate, and regroup. And this is so critical in volleyball, being a team sport. It takes all 6 people in the court, and it's a communication sport. If you don't communicate to your players what's going on, as a girl's going up, she's looking at the ball, she's hearing people, and she's seeing hands, and you've got to talk to tell them where it's open the court. You have a lot of things you have to see at one time, which makes it a big challenge. It's every little thing that anybody can tell you to do and you can hear to try to make that play is critical in communication and teamwork.
That point originally to North and then went to Boonsboro, so that string of 6 straight points ended, but now going right back to North Hagerstown. 17-8 with Bailey Doolin serving here for the Hubs. And it's Kenny again with the block for the Hubs.
Middle attack. Great idea there by the Boonsboro setter. She sent that deep in the court. That's definitely going to make your defense work, have to move and receive that ball defensively. As a double hit there by the setter. Her hands were a little uneven. The ball came out bobbled, and she got called on that. She squeezed that, Gabby squeezed that in there. That set was outside the pin a little bit. She was off balance when she went to attack. She put it in play somehow there.
18-9. Armani Kenny serving there for the Hubs. Could not get to that one.
That's a good spot there by Boonsboro putting that over. I think we had a little communication issue over here on the north side. Good pass.
Block there from Hannah Culver. And it's Grantham Medley that puts it away for North Hagerstown. 19-10.
Nice pass there by Boonsboro. Good coverage on the block. When I say coverage on the block, so when you defend behind the block, when your hitter gets blocked and it goes back on your side and somebody can play it up, it's called covering the hitter. And so they were able to cover, and Boonsboro's gonna have to do that since North puts up such a big block. And they definitely covered and got the point off of that. Good pass there by North. Using Grantham Medley on the right side. That was a good serve-receive play there. She was pulled back on the right side, so she got to hit from the right side of the court, which everybody's normally seeing her here on the left side, on the left antenna hitting, so that was a different angle. And she swung right down the line there. That was a great attack. It's good to see her hit on the other side of the net.
She'll be serving now, 20-11 North.
Good tool there by Cadence Doolin. So she hit on the inside, the middle blocker's arms. She wasn't completely there, and so it hit off her arms and went out of bounds. So she tooled the block there, and that's a good way to get a point when you can't put it straight down.
Another point to the Hubs, 22-11.
It's a good tool there by Boonsboro, so they used their middle and serve receive, which was fortunate for her to use that blocker there because she was sitting there waiting on her. Great play there on the middle's part.
Some Briggs on serve there, goes out. And now 23-12 in favor of the Hubs. Marley Knight serving here.
Tammy Rao got through that block there. An outside hitter from Boonsboro, so the block for North that time unfortunately was not closed, and what that means is their arms have to touch. If there's a gap or a hole and they're not together, then a hitter can swing in the hole, and she went in the hole, and that's why she was able to score there. Armani Kinney tooled Boonsboro's middle, so it's a tool show back and forth right now.
So 24-13 set point here for North. With Sophia Williams serving.
Nice block there by Armani Kinney.
Kenny gets the block, and the first set goes to North Hagerstown, 25-13. Stay with us. We'll have second set action coming up right after this. High school volleyball coverage brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia.
Hondas are hotter than ever, so reserve your new Honda from Hagerstown Honda today. Hagerstown Honda is having vehicles delivered weekly and they don't last long, so check out HagerstownHonda.com daily. And trade-in values have never been better for the new Honda buyer, with values being up nearly 40% nationally. And if you can't find what you're looking for, let Hagerstown Honda's helpful sales consultants track down the exact Honda you've always dreamed of owning. Hondas are hotter than ever, so reserve your new Honda from the dealer that's making it easy, Hagerstown Honda. Shop online at HagerstownHonda.com.
Now you can get local antenna broadband programming right on your phone or tablet. Our new WCL TV on the Go app brings our programming straight to you. You'll have access to our most recent programs like our coverage of local high school sports, the Music Makers, Inside Sports, and more. Plus, you'll have access to our live events right from the app. What are you waiting for? Download the WCL TV on the Go app now on iTunes and Google Play. It's all here on the WCL TV on the Go app from Antietam Media Services and Antietam Broadband.
Tonight's live coverage of high school volleyball brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia, the dealers that make it easy. Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia wish much success to the student athletes participating in tonight's match, the schools that they represent, and the surrounding communities that support them. Mark Keller and Letty Wilkes with you here from North Hagerstown High School. The Hubs taking set one over the Boonsboro Warriors, 25-13. Getting ready for set number two here now. Thank you for joining us here on Antietam Broadband for our live coverage tonight. You can see replays of this match coming up next week as well, Thursday and Friday, October 27th and 28th. Those replays taking place at 8 p.m. Saturday and Sunday morning, October 29th and October 30th. Those replays at 10 a.m. on channel 6 and 806 from Antietam Broadband. Of course, you can watch them anytime by downloading the WCL TV on the Go app. Catch all of our volleyball and football coverage from this season, as well as other local programming. The showcase of bands. We'll have the Alsatian Mummers Parade coming up as well. We'll have rebroadcasts of the Alsatian Mummers Parade Thursday through Sunday, November 3rd through the 6th, 8 p.m. on Thursday and Friday, 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. We're here on Antietam Broadband. Second set underway. And the Hubs taking the first point here in that second set.
Mark, going into the set, I hope that Boonsboro can eliminate some of their serving errors. They missed a lot of serves that first set, and they're figuring out how to hit around North's block. And for North, if they can just work on their offense and utilize their hitters all the way around on all areas, it'd be good to see that this set.
Nice rally here.
Good attack there by Boonsboro, just a little long, but it was definitely the right idea, working the ball to the corners. As a middle hitter, you don't, I referenced that before, you don't want to hit down the middle because there's always a blocker and there's always a defender behind there. Out of system here. Good block there by North and good coverage by Boonsboro. One thing you know, if you're going to be blocked, you better be ready to cover all the time. Boonsboro has definitely been doing that this set.
Another point to the Hubs, 3-0 here. Armani Kenny serving.
Nice serve, deep serve, good pass by Boonsboro. That was a smart play on Boonsboro's portion there. They put the ball in play and they made Gabby Grantham have to dive on the floor, which means you take her out of hitting. Otherwise, she'd have to get up really quick to attack, and that's probably one of their top hitters. I don't know if Boonsboro did that intentionally, but that was a smart play. I definitely would try to get her out of attacking if I was Boonsboro as much as I possibly could. I'd serve her and I'd attack at her to wear her down because she is one of the better players on the court. And anybody that Boonsboro is going to attack at, all these girls at North. Unfortunately, a missed serve there. As you go into volleyball, serving is one of the most important parts of the game. You want to be aggressive serving, and you certainly don't want to miss. And if you do miss, you want to miss serving out of bounds. Definitely not in the net, because you don't even give the other team an opportunity to make a mistake. And unfortunately, volleyball is a game of mistakes. You're only going to score a point with a mistake happening. And there's so many contacts back and forth.
Aubrey Chamberlain serving here. Hubs up 5-2.
With her coming back to serve and her setting, she's a smaller block for North, so now we definitely have a bigger block up here on this side for North, which puts that wall back up there. Boonsboro needs to use that advantage when she's up there blocking, since she is smaller. She still gets above the net, but it's not like the rest of the girls that are 5'10", 5'11". Their height definitely helps them.
Service goes back to Boonsboro here now. Serving 3-6.
She let that ball get a little bit past her, and then she tried to attack. That's how that ball went in the net there. Don't see her do that much.
And the serve comes right back to North Hagerstown here. And Gabby Grantham Medley.
Boonsboro's got to utilize this free ball here and put this away.
Hubs leading here 7-4. Second set, best of 5. Hubs winning the first set 25-13.
Bailey Doolin is ready to go for that ball, for sure. You know, Mark, the last time we were here broadcasting when North played Clear Spring, she was very explosive. We talked about that, and she still is very explosive when she attacks. Brings a lot of power behind the ball. It's nice to watch an athlete at that age swing like that in this game.
Bailey Doolin
just
a sophomore.
Yeah, she continues to play. She's got a good future ahead of her. To be a good attacker at the high school level, and if you know any of these kids that want to go on and play at the college level, you have to be quick, you have to be explosive. Otherwise, it's not going to go so well.
And we talked the last time we saw North here against Clear Spring about the makeup of North's roster. They have a lot of senior leadership on here, but some very good young talent as well. A great mix for the
Yeah,
Hubs.
and that's a great asset for a team, because younger kids, when they practice every day with kids that are older, who play, that know what to do, know what to expect, that helps those younger kids grow quick. And they practice every day with them. They learn, and they end up getting better quicker. So that's a great thing for these young kids that are good enough to be on the varsity team to play with these older girls, because they're already learning.
Hubs leading here 11-5. We're going to take a timeout and return to North Hagerstown right after this. High school volleyball brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia.
For
over 25 years. Total Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning has helped families all over the tri-state find the right heating and cooling solutions for their homes. As a Water Furnace GeoPro Master Dealer, you can count on their knowledge and skills when installing and servicing your geothermal system. When considering all the benefits of geothermal, be sure to contact Total Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, your Water Furnace GeoPro, to do it right.
To learn more about the reliable renewable, contact Total Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning at asktotalcomfort.com.
All right, guys, we have got to find more ways to buy more used cars for our lots here at Hagerstown Honda and Kia.
Oh, I have an idea. Here's how I would do it. Hello there. Hey, I'm Scott with Hagerstown Honda and Kia, and I want to buy your car.
Yeah, that one's probably not going to work.
Better yet, just bring your vehicle to Hagerstown Kia and Honda. We'll do a quick inspection, crunch some numbers with you, and then we'll trade your title for a check. Hagerstown Honda and Kia. Turn your car into cash.
Back at North Hagerstown High School, second set of this best-of-5 match between North Hagerstown and Boonsboro. Hubs leading 11-5 here in the second set. After winning the first, a 25-13 count.
Nice pass, Boonsboro. Good attack. It was nice to see Boonsboro set the middle there in zone 3 to move their hitter around a little bit to move away from that big block. So that was smart on their part. Even though they set her in serve receive, they tried to move around the block. So they definitely have discussed that option. That's good to see.
Sets to Bailey Doolin, and she's going to pick up the point for the Hubs. 13-5.
So right now for Boonsboro, we got the smaller block up for North High side. If they're smart, they'll hit over the North High Aubrey Chamberlain, the setter. She's a little bit smaller. I'd be setting that outside every time, telling her hit over that, the shortest blocker right now.
Doolin with a block there, getting the point for the Hubs. 14-5.
Nice set.
Marissa Blair's hit is long. 15-5.
Same things happened to Boonsboro a little bit that happened to Clear Spring when we were here last time. North puts pressure on them, they get out of system, and then they can't return a terminating ball. They're able to put it in play, but it's nothing that's going to make North have to work too hard, and then they're drilling the ball back at them, or they put up a big block and they're having a hard time hitting around them. Good back set there. That was a good set. Unfortunately, hit right in the block there for Boonsboro. I think really big for Boonsboro right now is since they are having a hard time attacking, they really need to find a way to talk and communicate and let their hitters know what's open to see the court better. Those defenders behind them really need to tell them where to hit to. Otherwise, they're going to have a big challenge hitting around the block and have to cover a lot. North High just needs to keep doing what they're doing. And I'd like to see them use a little bit more variety of offense. This is a great time for them to move hitters around the court. We saw them do this a little bit against Clear Spring, but they had hitters doing cross patterns where one hitter would come from the right and kind of hit in the middle, or the middle would go around. This is a perfect opportunity for them to utilize some of that, because they're going to need to probably do that down in the playoff time. So I'd like to see them vary up their offense a little bit right now.
Hubs leading here 17-5 in the second set. And Sophia Williams still on serve for North.
Good dig. Nice set. Bailey Doolin hitting high on the hands of the Boonsboro block. It's a good back row attack by Cammie Rao there at Boonsboro.
Nice job by Armani Kenny, putting that one away for the Hubs.
Boonsboro, they need to keep working that 3 zone, getting their middle hitter around Armani. She definitely has a big presence at the net. She does a great job putting up a block. She's always there. She's very, she has very good court awareness. So that's really good for her, which isn't anything I wouldn't expect for a kid that's going on to play in college.
Boonsboro finally ending the run there by North Hagerstown. Delaney Long getting the point for the Warriors.
Good serve. Got North out of system. Boonsboro definitely wants to get North out of system. I've referred to that before to the viewers. So out of system, what does that mean? When a serve comes over and they go to pass, if it's not directly to the setter and they can't set all 5 hitters, or they don't have the option to set all 5 hitters, then they would be out of system. In system would mean they can set all 5 of their attackers. So Boonsboro, for instance, serving at North, they want to get them so they're out of system so the setter doesn't have all the options to set to all the weapons. And same thing for North. They want to get Boonsboro out of system so they don't have the opportunity to swing hard and aggressive at them. And right now North is out of system. When the setter can't set and the libero has to better the ball, that's definitely as most out of system you're going to get. So kudos to Boonsboro for putting that challenge on them. A good way to get a team out of system in rally play is to attack at your setter, because she has to dig the ball. You automatically took that second contact away from the setter. So somebody else, typically speaking, it's going to be your DS, your libero is going to have to step in and become the setter at that point. So it's not necessarily as good as you would have from your setter. What makes it a challenge. It's a good block from Boonsboro.
Megan Culver there for the Warriors.
They definitely got together on that block and did a great job on Gabby Grantham Medley there.
And Kate Davis serving.
It's a great in system. They tried to run a slide there. Armani Kinney, she went behind her setter and serve receive. That's a good play. She was a little late on that attack.
Nice.
I'm not too sure,
there.
Mark, if North High heard me or what's going on here, but they started moving their hitters around. That's definitely what I want to see. So they ran a slide there with Armani Kinney out of serve receive, so she wasn't going straight on the middle to get blocked. They moved her to hit behind the setter, and then they moved Gabby Grantham in to hit a 3. And when the setter's front row, like Aubrey Chamberlain is right now, she also can be a hitter. But when you are front row setter and you're running, it's called a 5-1 offense. And when she's up on the front row, she wants to spread her hitters. So you're moving the block all the ways you possibly can. So you want to put your outside hitter on the pin, and you want to bring your middle around. We call it hitting a slide behind the setter. So you spread your offense completely. So it'd be good to see them do that right now. She's still up on the front row. So right now she could spread Grantham Medley, and she could spread Turner and really put pressure on the block for Boonsboro there. For instance, that instead of running in the middle, we run her behind. Open her up a little bit more.
Another block there from Kayla Turner. And the Hubs 2 points away from taking the second set here. 23-8. And Kenny still on serve. And this one long.
Long, yep. It's better to miss a serve, like I said earlier, out of bounds than in the net. That Boonsboro had to determine, is it in or it's out? They had to talk and communicate. Every once in a while, you'll see a player not understand or hear somebody not know what to do, and sometimes it brushes their body, and that's the worst. Great pass in system. That's a great 3-zone set there. And Grantham Medley put that away. You call that a good hit. There's not much you can do about that on the defending side. Yeah, the block wasn't even close, and she went right around it. she gets up in the air too.
And Aubrey Chamberlain now serving for the second set.
Good set. That's a great attack there by Kimmy Rao. It's a good pass in system by Boonsboro. The setter did a great job there putting that outside to the pin. And Kimmy Rao definitely finished. She got in the hole of the block. You can see they weren't together on that replay there. Their arms weren't together, and she got right in that hole. She did a great job of finding the court there to score.
And the serve into the net. We'll wrap up set number 2. 25-10 North Hagerstown. They lead 2-0. Stay with us. We'll be back with set number 3 here at North Hagerstown right after this. High school volleyball brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia.
Seems like everyone you meet today claims to be a content creator. Well, at Antietam Media Services, we're much more than just content creators. We're producers, directors, and editors that are never afraid to roll up our sleeves and bring our expertise to you. From full-blown live multicam productions live streamed to the world, to single-camera commercial production, we've got the gear, we've got the people, and we've got the drive to give your event or business the exposure it deserves. We've been doing this since 1981, and Antietam Media Services has produced tens of thousands of hours of live content and thousands of commercials that put your name on the networks and on the digital platforms that provide you the biggest return on investment. It's a big world out there, and we're ready to help you tell your story. Call, email, or log on to AntietamMediaServices.com and tell us more about your project. 4 decades of experience and never afraid of a challenge. We're Antietam Media Services.
Come see Red Baron Flooring on Basil Boulevard in Hagerstown for the best selection and the most competitive prices. Shop our beautiful showroom or select your new flooring from our large warehouse where our in-stock values save you time and money. You can rely on our knowledgeable sales staff to make shopping at Red Baron the same satisfying experience for you that it's been for Tri-State consumers for more than 40 years. So let our flooring experts help you to the best selection at everyday low prices. Visit us at Red Baron Flooring on Basil Boulevard next to Labor's Office Furniture in Hagerstown.
Now's the best time to purchase your new vehicle from Hagerstown Kia. Hagerstown Kia is having vehicles delivered weekly, and they don't last long, so check out HagerstownKia.com daily. Traded values have never been better for the new Kia buyer, with values being up nearly 40% nationally. And if you can't find what you're looking for, let Hagerstown Kia's helpful sales consultants custom order the exact Kia you've always dreamed of owning. Reserve your new Kia from the dealer that's making it easy, Hagerstown Kia.
Tonight's live coverage, high school volleyball here at North Hagerstown High School, brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia, the dealers that make it easy. Hagerstown Honda and Kia wish much success to the student athletes participating in tonight's match, the schools they represent, and the surrounding communities that support them. Ready for the third set here at North Hagerstown. The Hubs with a 2-0 lead over the Boonsboro Warriors. 25-13 and 25-10 thus far. And we are underway here in set number 3. Sydney Wilt serving that one for the Hubs. And Gabby Grantham Medley with yet another kill here for the Hubs.
She found a good place to put that back in the zone 1 in the deep corner. That's a very hard ball to defend. So smart shot on her part. Good serve, deeper in the court.
And once again, it's Grantham Medley. Letty, if you're Boonsboro here, and you know, we talk a lot about the strength of volleyball here in Washington County, and how does this a match like this one? Obviously, Boonsboro, you want to come out of this with a win, but how does this help prepare them for what they're going to see in the postseason, what they're going to see in that Class 1A West, and possibly beyond?
That's a really good question, Mark. I think the best thing is you're going to see teams that are going to block better. You're going to see teams that have better hitters. Sometimes you play teams that don't have a block, and for that situation, if you have really good hitters the best hitter in your team, they can go up and they can just hit it and put it away. And I think when you come up against a team such as the North or a team that has taller players, you're going to find a block. You can't just go up and just wail at the ball. And so you have to learn how to be a true hitter. And a hitter in volleyball, you got to see the block. You got to know where the defense is behind the block and hit it where they're not. The object is to not hit it at somebody. And I think for them, they can utilize this experience here tonight as how do we become more versatile and seeing the court and having more options. The game of volleyball is about strategy. There's a lot of strategy to it. There's a lot of different things you can do in this game to move people around, to work around the block, to score. It can get very technical, and there's a lot that can go into it. So in Boonsboro's situation, I think they use this to their advantage. I would even pull this game back up and show them, because sometimes for a player, watching themselves or seeing a situation, they grow from that a lot better than just telling them, well, this is what you did, is they can't visually see it. They can say okay, but they don't learn from it. So I'd go back and say, look at this blocking scheme. How do we hit around that to all the players? And also, I've mentioned it several times, how do we talk and communicate to our hitter? If I'm going up to hit and there's 2 blockers on me, the defense needs to be saying, you've got 2, and you need to hit to your right, you need to hit to the left, hit high over their hands, hit right behind the block. There's a lot of language that can be used quick behind the hitter that they can, basically your teammates can tell you what to do and how to score while you're trying to watch the ball, see the hands, and not mess up. So there's a lot that goes into this game. It's a game of action, and viewers really like to watch volleyball because there's always something constantly going on. But the thing about volleyball is it's so technical, and it's probably one of the hardest sports to teach because it's all body control. Whatever your body does is what it tells that ball to do. And from a young age to even adulthood, it's sometimes hard to control the body, and it's all about the footwork. One wrong step or one wrong move with your arm, it'll change the direction of that ball. So it's a very interesting sport, and like I said, it can get very technical. A lot goes into it that I don't think a lot of times people understand about volleyball. And another thing about these kids, they're in rotations. They play positions. So they always are moving to get back to the position where they need to go. I think a lot of times when people do recreation volleyball, they just rotate everybody plays in that one spot. Mm-hmm. That's not how these kids are playing. They're all playing a specific position that they do, and they have to get back to that position. So you'll see them switch on the court a lot to get to their position, and you can't be out of rotation. So in saying that, you kind of have to be pretty smart to play volleyball too. In training and working with young kids, sometimes they look at you with eyes like, what are you talking about? So, these kids are they're compartmentalizing a lot of things in their brains right now. But going back and saying all that and going back to it's a lot about communicating, talk to your hitters. Boonsboro can learn a lot from this situation going into playoffs. I'm not sure if they're going to see a team with a block this big. This is not necessarily common in a high school team. In a small area like we're in, and maybe in a big city, you're going to see, just because it has a higher population of students. But this is a pretty large team, height-wise, to have this many players that can hit and this many players that are blocking. So North definitely needs to utilize it. This is a year for them, for sure.
Cubs with a 9-1 lead here in set number 3. Nice dig by the Warriors. Keep that one alive. And now it's Kayla Turner.
It was good.
That one away.
It was good to see. She ran a tight slide there. The setter let Turner come around behind her to hit, and she moved her hitter away from the blocker. I talked about that earlier. She's a front row setter, so she needs to spread her offense, and she did that time. So it opens up the availability for the hitter to not have a block up against. And as a setter, you have to see the other side. You want to see where their blockers are and put your hitters in the best possible situation where they have nobody up to block against them, or they have a one-on-one situation where they can score. So setters they're the leader on the court. They have the toughest job on the court. sometimes hitters make mistakes, and it's not necessarily their fault, but the setter didn't make a good decision to set them at time, putting them in a tough situation.
Cubs up 11-2 now, and Aubrey Chamberlain on serve for North.
It's a nice back set there from Boonsboro. She squeezed that one through.
Substitution here for the Warriors. They'll be serving 3-11. I mentioned that Central Maryland Conference Championship and some of the scenarios still left in that one. We said North Hagerstown's already locked in. They've won the Spires division in the CMC, so they're locked into that Saturday championship match. On the Gambrel side, though, it's a little still up in the air. Still some things that can happen, and those will actually come on Thursday evening as Boonsboro plays Smithsburg at Boonsboro, and Williamsport is playing at Catoctin. And both of those matches important. Smithsburg controls its own destiny in terms of getting into the championship match against North Hagerstown. If they beat Boonsboro on Thursday, they'll win the Gambrel division, and they will play North Hagerstown. Now, if Boonsboro wins that match, there's still some
there's a lot of obstacles,
some mystery.
With this.
Yeah, if Boonsboro wins and Catoctin beats Williamsport, then Boonsboro's in. No more to be done there. If Boonsboro wins and Williamsport beats Catoctin, then all of a sudden we have a three-way tie between Boonsboro, Smithsburg, and Williamsport, and I'm not exactly sure what the tiebreaker is, if they play matches or if it's rock, paper, scissors, or
they go back to who beat who.
Yeah, it could be.
That's definitely a tough obstacle.
So the easiest thing is if Smithsburg wins against Boonsboro,
and that's this Thursday. You said?
That's Thursday, and then the championship match is on Saturday down at Thomas Johnson High School. And then both teams come back and play a few more matches next week to get ready for the playoffs. Postseason right around the corner. Hard to believe that we've reached this point of the season already. This our last live broadcast of the fall season.
Goes
Can't believe
fast.
we're there already. Yeah. Big hit by Bailey Doolin, but it is.
She went high for the hands there. She tried to hit on top of the block, and unfortunately, she just missed the top of their hands. She was going for them, though. I will say this, Mark, from the last time we were here broadcasting when North played Clear Spring, North definitely, they blocked well that match, but defensively behind, I would say tonight they've definitely improved their defense from behind their block. And again, that was the beginning of the season. That was their first game. They had jitters.
Right.
But, they definitely have improved. And even I had the opportunity to watch them last night. That was a great kudos to Coach Crawford Cunningham, both of them, for scheduling that game at this part in the season. James Wood's a well put together team. They're disciplined. They know what's going on in the court. And that was a really smart scheduling situation for North to go into that game towards this part of the season. That's a team they're going to see more like so in playoffs. So, they came out with a tough loss last night in 5 sets, but mentally and how they can grow from that to prepare for playoffs, that was a really smart scheduling situation there.
A couple great saves in that last rally by the Hubs. The point ultimately went to Boonsboro. And now it'll be the Hubs back on serve here. And Sophia Williams, 16-8.
Unfortunately, this part of the season, I would like to see Boonsboro really work on going into playoffs, not missing as many serves that they have. I think they've missed a little bit too many serves tonight, definitely in the net. And I've mentioned that before. In this game, you don't want to miss your serve in the net. You want to miss long to give the other team an opportunity to have to talk and communicate about it, whether they are going to pass it, is it in or it's out. And unfortunately, they've missed quite a few tonight in the net. So going into playoffs, you don't want to be missing serves like that. You want to be putting the ball in play and have to lose a point because you didn't block, you didn't defend, not because you didn't make your serve.
Is there a sense of intimidation? You know, we talked about that block that North has up front most times, and you know, we know there's a kind of an intimidation factor when the ball's in play, but is that also there during serve? You know, you look up and you see that height.
No, it shouldn't be. That's the one time that you have time. You can go back there. It's like a foul shot in basketball. You have time. You can see the court. You kind of know who you want to serve to. So it's the one time that you have to put it all out there. Because during rally play, you don't know who's going to attack. You don't know where they're going to hit it. You don't know how your defense. There's all these things that come into play that are not predictable. Serving, you can control that. So they shouldn't really be intimidated to serve. It's their one opportunity to say, let's go for this ace, or let's get them out of system so they can't attack hard at us. So, you know, any team approaching a team like North, you want to go at them, one, serving aggressive so you can get them out of system, so the weapons aren't all coming at you on all cylinders. That's the one thing you can control, is the serve. I wouldn't say they're necessarily serving aggressive at North, and then again they've missed, but they're in the situation because they've missed so many serves tonight. They just got to get it over and in play. That's not a situation you want your team into. Like, as a coach, that's one of those where you're like, just put it in play, let's play. But you know, you don't want to go into playoffs missing serves like that. And it might be sometimes, you know, there's so many things that you got to focus on the game, and sometimes people just don't focus on serving enough, and it's the thing that you have to focus on almost the most. Everybody likes to work on hitting because you want your players to hit. Me personally, I work on serving probably more than anybody else, and people always say, why do you do that? But it's the most important part of the game. It can win a ball game. When aggressive serving comes out, it shows really how well a team is at passing. Because you can serve lollipops over and everybody can pass that. That's a free ball. But when you really serve, it really shows how good a team's ball control is, which means can they pass the target into their setter's hands, or is the setter running all over the place and then they can't get the weapons to hit.
21-11. North leading here in the third set.
It's a good attack there by the right side. She hit directly over here to the sideline, which is a hard ball to defend. So great attack there on Boonsboro's part. This is a good serve.
13-21 here now. Brianne Reed serving.
Setter turned and hit there. She's in that 5-1, so she's a front row hitter. Good block, good coverage by Boonsboro. Sending a free ball over. Hopefully North can put this. Turner got a good tool there. She used high hands in the middle, and it went off the middle blocker's hands and out of bounds.
And at 22-13, North Hagerstown, Chamberlain serving.
It's a good tool by North. The block was there for Boonsboro. Their hands were turned a little bit out of bounds, and they hit right off their hands to force the ball to go out. Out of system. Oh.
Big hit by Kayla Turner.
That's what we call feeding the shark right there. Unfortunately, had an overpass, and Kayla Turner was ready to go. That's a ball you dream of right there. That's a hitter.
And we are at match point here now, 24-13 with the Hubs serving.
Nice dig there.
Warriors staying alive here. 14-24.
They even let the libero tack that over the net. Nice block. She was set up right on her. Grantham Medley's one of those hitters that hits straight down, so if the block is set up perfect, it's going to go right in the hands. That's what happened that time.
Cami Rao with the block there for Boonsboro. And that serve out of bounds, and that wraps up the match. 25-15 here in the third set, and the Hubs have swept the Boonsboro Warriors. Stay with us. Letty and I will be back to wrap things up here from North Hagerstown right after this. High school volleyball coverage brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia.
For over 30 years, Antietam Broadband has been bringing you one-of-a-kind local programming, from coverage of our high school sports to unique programming like our Civil War and Washington County series. Now you can own them on Blu-ray and DVD. Just visit store.antietamcable.com, where you'll find all your favorite local programming from Antietam Broadband. Browse through our categories to find the perfect gift. Antietam Broadband and Antietam Media Services, bringing quality local programming to your home. Now you can get local Antietam Broadband programming right on your phone or tablet. Our new WCL TV on the Go app brings our programming straight to you. You'll have access to our most recent programs like our coverage of local high school sports, the Music Makers, Inside Sports, and more. Plus, you'll have access to our live events right from the app. What are you waiting for? Download the WCL TV on the Go app now on iTunes and Google Play. It's all here on the WCL TV on the Go app from Antietam Media Services and Antietam Broadband.
I'm Linda McCollum, and welcome to the new McCollum Hearing Center. We are the Mid-Atlantic's #1 provider of quality hearing aids. Here at McCollum Hearing Center, we take our service seriously, and we stand by you and our products. I'd like to introduce clinical audiologist Betty Moss.
Hi, I'm happy to join McCollum Hearing Center, and I would like to welcome my friends, old and new, to come by.
Call or visit McCollum Hearing Center today.
Welcome back to North Hagerstown High School. Tonight's live high school volleyball coverage brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia, the dealers that make it easy. Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia wish much success to the student athletes participating in tonight's match, the schools they represent, and the surrounding communities that support them. Mark Keller and Letty Wilkes back here with you to wrap things up. North Hagerstown sweeping Boonsboro here tonight, 25-13. 25-10 and 25-15. And Letty, you saw North Hagerstown last night. You saw them here tonight. Did you see anything different in the way the Hubs played tonight versus last night?
Yeah, last night they were challenged, definitely. James Wood was a type of team that had a lot of ball control. They passed really well. They defended great. So those weapons of North that attacked, James Wood was able to dig. They put up a block, and then they put the pressure right back on North. So totally different team, very experienced, very controlled. And like I said, they had the ball control, which in the game of volleyball, teams that are going to win are going to have ball control. They're pass well. They've got all options to hit. So that was something that they saw against their opponent last night. And it put North in a different pressure situation. They had to work together. They had to find the holes. They had to do that. Tonight was a little different. Tonight they were just calm. They just had to put the ball in play and kind of play the game and do their thing, type a little bit different. So it was neat to see them play in a pressure situation, how they adapt to how they normally play when I've seen them play before.
On the other side, Boonsboro, were they kind of in the role that North Hagerstown was in last night against James Wood? Were they kind of in that same situation?
I would compare it to that a little bit, except North was able, it was a lot of rallying back and forth. It was pressure the whole time. It was a good volleyball match where you had to be on all cylinders, you had to dig, you had to talk, you had to communicate. Boonsboro did a little bit of that, but they didn't have the terminating factor back at North as James Wood definitely did. James Wood had terminators just as North does. So it was a good equalization to two good teams playing each other. Not that Boonsboro isn't a good team. They just didn't get the ball up to put any pressure back against North's block or their defense enough to put the ball away. Clear Spring ran into the same thing against North. I mean, let's face it, North's block is big. You're not going to see that a lot of high school teams. It's not uncommon, but it kind of is, and they're a wall up there, and any team that's going to go up against them, they're going to have to learn how to hit over their hands, tool the block, or hit around them. And I think Boonsboro ran into that tonight. They just didn't have enough terminators to put the ball down.
So North Hagerstown improves to 10-1 on the season with that win. Boonsboro falls to 8-2. We mentioned kind of the big night coming up for Boonsboro here on Thursday evening, where they are hosting Smithsburg and Williamsport playing at Catoctin, and those two matches sort of determining who will play North Hagerstown in that CMC championship match on Saturday. That should be a fun night of volleyball.
Yeah,
Thursday
absolutely.
Night.
It's Thursday night sounds like it determines a lot of things of who's going to make it on Saturday, but you know, they all have to put it online. This is the best part of the season. This is the part of the season everybody gets to. You work for it, and on any given night, anybody can come out and win a ball game.
And then we're just the playoffs right around the corner. As we mentioned, seeding takes place for the region tournaments on October 31st, and then those region tournaments begin November 3rd and 4th. We'll remind you of the replay dates for this match here tonight. Coming up next week, October 27th, 28th, that's Thursday and Friday. Replays at 8 p.m. Both of those nights, and then Saturday and Sunday, October 29th and 30th, both of those replays taking place at 10 a.m. And we, of course, will also have coverage of the Alsatian Mummers Parade, tape delay coverage of that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, November 3rd through the 6th, 8 p.m. on Thursday and Friday, 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. That wraps it up for our volleyball coverage here for the season. For Letty Wilkes, I'm Mark Keller. We appreciate you joining us here on Antietam Broadband for all of our local sports coverage, and we will see you next time.